Men, understanding female psychology is one of the fastest ways to navigate attraction, build connection, and create influence without playing games. Women, like men, have patterns, triggers, and natural tendencies. Knowing these weaknesses doesn't mean exploiting them. It means understanding how emotions, desire, and attachment work so you can respond confidently and strategically. The men who grasp this often find dating easier, interaction smoother, and attraction stronger. This video will reveal the top 7 female weaknesses every man must know. These are the points where emotions, desire, and psychology intersect. Moments when a woman's behavior is predictable, and a man who understands it can act in ways that naturally increase attraction and connection. We're not talking manipulation. We're talking about insight, awareness, and the ability to read signals that most men completely miss. From emotional triggers to desire patterns, social behaviors, and attachment tendencies, these weaknesses explain why women act the way they do in relationships and dating. Recognizing them allows you to interact with confidence, avoid common mistakes, and position yourself as a man who naturally draws interest and respect. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to identify these weaknesses, how to respond strategically, and how to turn knowledge into real-world results in attraction and relationships. You'll see why some men seem effortlessly magnetic while others struggle, and how small changes in awareness and approach can make a huge difference. 1. Emotional sensitivity. One of the most important female weaknesses every man must understand is emotional sensitivity. Women are wired to process emotions deeply and intuitively, which means they feel interactions more intensely than men often do. This sensitivity can be a source of connection, but it also makes them vulnerable to overreactions, misunderstandings, or emotional triggers. A man who understands this can navigate attraction with calm confidence rather than clumsily pushing her buttons. Emotional sensitivity shows up in both words and nonverbal cues. A slight change in tone, hesitation, or subtle body language can indicate strong emotional reactions, even if she doesn't verbalize them. Men who are unaware may misinterpret these signs as disinterest or negativity. Understanding that women respond emotionally first and logically second allows you to approach interactions strategically. Instead of reacting to surface-level behavior, you focus on the underlying emotional context. This sensitivity also influences desire and attachment. When a woman feels emotionally understood, valued, or safe, her attraction intensifies quickly. Conversely, if she senses insecurity, desperation, or inconsistency, her sensitivity triggers distance or skepticism. Men who can remain steady and confident, even in emotionally charged situations, create a magnetic presence that women are naturally drawn to. Another aspect of emotional sensitivity is how women handle vulnerability. They can push or pull depending on the intensity of their feelings, fear of exposure, or desire for validation. Recognizing these patterns allows you to respond in ways that foster connection instead of triggering withdrawal. For example, listening with empathy, maintaining calm composure, and subtly guiding the interaction can reduce tension and increase emotional investment. Finally, emotional sensitivity gives you insight into timing and approach. High sensitivity means that women are affected more by tone, confidence, and subtle cues than by grand gestures or over-explaining. Understanding this weakness allows you to lead interactions with emotional intelligence, read signals accurately, and respond in ways that strengthen attraction and connection rather than causing conflict or uncertainty. 2. Desire for security. Another critical female weakness. Every man must understand is a deep-rooted desire for security. Women are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate stability, confidence, and reliability. This isn't about material wealth or status alone. It's about emotional and behavioral consistency. A woman's sense of attraction and attachment often increases when she perceives that a man can provide stability and protect her emotional well-being. Security manifests in several ways. First, emotional security. Women want to know they can express feelings, desires, and vulnerability without judgment or rejection. Men who remain calm, composed, and responsive under emotional intensity signal that they are trustworthy and safe. This quality makes women feel comfortable investing in connection and desire, which strengthens attraction. Second, behavioral consistency. Actions speak louder than words. Showing up when you say you will, following through on promises, and maintaining composure under pressure communicates reliability. A man who acts with consistency demonstrates that he is a dependable presence, which satisfies a woman's instinctive desire for stability. In contrast, inconsistency, unpredictability, or erratic behavior triggers anxiety and reduces attraction. Third, social and personal security. Women are drawn to men who are independent and self-sufficient. A man who has his own life, goals, and confidence creates a sense of security because she knows he is not dependent on her validation or attention. This independence amplifies attraction because it signals emotional strength and value. Understanding this weakness allows you to respond strategically. Women often test security through subtle challenges, moments of pullback, teasing, or delayed responses. These tests are not rejections, they're ways to gauge your stability and composure. Reacting with calm confidence, patience, and a light, playful approach reinforces the security she craves while maintaining attraction. Finally, desire for security interacts with other female tendencies, like emotional sensitivity and need for attachment. By demonstrating stability and reliability, you create an environment where her emotions feel safe, her curiosity is piqued, and her desire grows naturally. Recognizing this weakness allows you to lead with confidence, maintain value, and subtly guide interactions in a way that strengthens connection and attraction. 3. Fear of rejection. A critical female weakness every man must recognize is the fear of rejection. Women, like men, are sensitive to social and emotional evaluation. This fear often shapes behavior, making them hesitant to fully express attraction, desire, or vulnerability until they feel safe. Understanding this fear allows you to navigate interactions in ways that increase trust, curiosity, and emotional engagement. Fear of rejection is subtle. It may appear as hesitation, distance, or even playful pushback when she's attracted. Women may test your confidence, tease you, or act distant to gauge your response. These behaviors are not signs of disinterest. They are protective mechanisms designed to manage risk. A man who understands this doesn't panic, chase, or overcompensate. Instead, he uses patience, composure, and confidence to create an environment where she feels safe exploring her feelings. This weakness also explains why women sometimes pull away when desire is high. Attraction triggers emotional intensity, which interacts with fear of rejection. She wants to engage, but worries about being hurt, making a mistake, or showing too much interest. Men who respond with calm confidence, subtle engagement, and humor reduce these fears, making her feel secure enough to act on her attraction. Another aspect is the importance of perceived value. Women are more likely to take emotional risks when they believe a man is high value, confident, and independent. When she fears rejection, the stakes feel higher, but the right signals, stability, composure, and consistent behavior encourage her to step forward. Finally, understanding fear of rejection allows you to interpret signals accurately. Hesitation, pullback, or playful testing is not a lack of interest. It's an opportunity to lead the interaction, demonstrate value, and create safety. By managing this dynamic with awareness, you reduce her fear, Increase her emotional investment and position yourself as the man she wants to engage with fully. 4. Desire for validation. Another female weakness. Every man must understand is the desire for validation. Women, like men, crave acknowledgement and recognition for their qualities, efforts, and choices. This doesn't mean flattery or empty compliments. It's about recognizing her value in subtle, genuine ways. Understanding this desire allows you to interact in ways that strengthen attraction while avoiding the common mistakes men make when trying too hard to impress. Validation works on multiple levels. Emotional validation occurs when a woman feels her feelings are understood and accepted. For example, if she expresses excitement, frustration, or vulnerability, responding with calm acknowledgement and empathy makes her feel heard. This connection builds trust, emotional intimacy, and attraction. Ignoring or dismissing her emotions, on the other hand, triggers resistance, doubt, or withdrawal. Social validation is also key. Women are attuned to how they are perceived, both by men they are interested in and in social settings. A man who subtly acknowledges her intelligence, humor, or achievements without overdoing it signals awareness and respect. This creates positive reinforcement while maintaining your own value and confidence. Validation doesn't mean overpraising or appearing desperate. It's most effective when delivered naturally through observation, subtle comments, or acknowledgement of her strengths in context. For instance, noticing her effort in a conversation, the way she handled a situation, or something unique about her personality communicates validation without neediness. The desire for validation also intersects with attraction. Women are more likely to invest emotionally when they feel respected, recognized, and appreciated. By understanding this, you can strategically guide interactions to build desire, connection, and engagement. This isn't manipulation. It's awareness of human behavior and responding in a way that aligns with both her psychology and your confidence. Finally, combining validation with independence, composure, and subtle engagement amplifies attraction. She feels acknowledged while sensing your value, creating a magnetic pull. Understanding her need for validation gives you insight into what drives her responses and emotions, helping you navigate interactions with precision, confidence, and influence. 5. Need for attention. Another female weakness. Every man must understand is the need for attention. Women naturally seek acknowledgement and engagement from men they find attractive. This isn't about constant validation or entitlement. It's about feeling seen, appreciated, and prioritized in small but meaningful ways. Understanding this need allows you to manage interactions strategically, increasing attraction while maintaining your own value and independence. The need for attention shows up in both direct and indirect ways. Direct cues might include reaching out first, commenting on your posts, or initiating conversation. Indirect cues can be subtle, lingering eye contact, playful teasing, or moments of emotional closeness. Men who fail to recognize these signals often overreact or misinterpret them, either chasing too aggressively or withdrawing completely. Both responses reduce attraction. Strategically giving attention is about balance, responding selectively, keeping your interactions engaging, and showing interest without overcommitting communicates high value. Women are drawn to men who are present and attentive, but not desperate. By controlling the flow of attention, you create a push-pull dynamic that stimulates desire and curiosity. The need for attention also ties into emotional validation. Women want to know that you notice them, care about their feelings, and appreciate their uniqueness. Small gestures, a light text, playful comment, or acknowledgement of something she did can satisfy this need while reinforcing attraction. The key is subtlety. Attention should feel natural, confident, and proportionate to her engagement, not excessive or needy. Understanding this weakness also helps you navigate pullbacks. When she seeks attention but simultaneously tests your composure, it's a chance to demonstrate patience, confidence, and self-respect. Meeting her need for attention strategically strengthens her emotional investment while keeping you in control of the dynamic. Finally, mastering attention management positions you as high value. Women naturally gravitate toward men who balance presence with independence, acknowledgement with composure, and engagement with subtlety. Recognizing her need for attention and responding wisely turns a potential challenge into a powerful tool for attraction and connection. 6. Desire for excitement. Another female weakness. Every man must know is a deep desire for excitement. Women are naturally drawn to men who bring energy, unpredictability, and stimulation into their lives. This doesn't mean being reckless or irresponsible. It means creating experiences, emotions, and interactions that make her feel engaged, intrigued, and alive. Men who understand this dynamic can increase attraction dramatically by introducing novelty, playful tension, and positive emotional highs. Desire for excitement is part of human nature. Women seek partners who can balance stability with stimulation. While they value security, they are equally drawn to men who challenge them in a fun, confident way. Boring or predictable behavior kills interest, while light-hearted adventure, teasing, or playful competition heightens attraction and desire. Excitement shows up in multiple forms. Socially, it might be spontaneity, inviting her to a fun activity, sharing an interesting story, or demonstrating confidence in a new environment. Emotionally, it appears as playful banter, teasing, or light challenges that stimulate curiosity. Physically, excitement can be created through confident body language, engaging presence, and subtle displays of energy or charisma. The key is balance. Too much unpredictability without stability makes a man appear unreliable or careless. Too little energy makes interactions flat and uninspiring. Men who can combine steady confidence with bursts of excitement create a magnetic dynamic. She feels secure, yet emotionally stimulated and intrigued. Desire for excitement also interacts with her emotional sensitivity. Women experience emotional highs and lows more intensely than men, so moments of fun, laughter, and curiosity make a strong impression. When a man can introduce excitement without overreacting to emotional swings, he positions himself as a stable yet compelling presence. Finally, mastering this weakness gives you leverage in attraction. By creating engaging, stimulating, and memorable interactions, you make yourself emotionally significant without seeming needy or desperate. Women naturally gravitate toward men who bring excitement while maintaining independence and composure. Recognizing and responding to this desire ensures that your presence is always magnetic, emotionally engaging, and difficult for her to ignore. 7. Fear of losing you. One of the most important female weaknesses every man must understand is the fear of losing a man she values. This fear isn't about manipulation or control. It's a natural emotional response when a woman recognizes the unique value, confidence, and independence of a man. When she senses that you are high value and not dependent on her attention, she experiences a mix of desire, attachment, and anxiety about losing your presence. Understanding this gives you tremendous leverage in attraction and connection. Fear of losing you shows up in subtle ways. She may tease you, test boundaries, or create playful tension to gauge your stability. She might increase engagement after sensing your composure, or she may pull back momentarily to see how you respond. These behaviors are signals, not games. They reflect her emotional investment and interest. Men who misinterpret this as disinterest or punishment often react with desperation, which reduces attraction. Men who respond strategically reinforce her desire and respect. This weakness is closely tied to your demonstrated value. Women naturally compare men who display independence, confidence, and emotional composure to those who seem insecure or reactive. When you consistently embody high value through lifestyle, energy, emotional intelligence, and subtle engagement, you trigger an emotional response. The realization that losing you would be significant. This fear strengthens desire, encourages loyalty, and increases emotional investment. Understanding this weakness also allows you to manage pullback dynamics effectively. Instead of chasing, over-explaining, or pleading, maintain your independence, set boundaries, and respond selectively. By doing so, you create emotional tension that she feels compelled to resolve, often by deepening her attention, curiosity, and connection. Finally, fear of losing you interacts with other female tendencies like emotional sensitivity, desire for excitement, and need for validation. When she recognizes that your attention is valuable, your presence is enjoyable, and your independence is unwavering, her fear of losing you becomes a powerful motivator. She begins to invest more, engage more, and appreciate your value on a deeper level. Recognizing and leveraging this weakness is not about manipulation. It's about understanding human behavior, leading interactions confidently, and creating a dynamic where attraction, respect, and desire naturally grow. Men who master this instinct position themselves as high-value, magnetic, and emotionally significant, ensuring that women feel compelled to stay connected and invested. Men understanding female weaknesses is not about manipulation. It's about awareness, strategy, and emotional intelligence. Women are not unpredictable. They follow patterns shaped by emotions, desire, and instinct. By recognizing their emotional sensitivity, desire for security, fear of rejection, need for validation and attention, craving for excitement, and fear of losing a high-value man, you gain insight that most men miss. This knowledge allows you to navigate attraction, connection, and relationships with confidence and precision. Each weakness presents an opportunity. Emotional sensitivity and fear of rejection show you how to create safety and trust. Desire for validation and attention allows you to engage meaningfully while maintaining your independence. Desire for excitement reminds you to make interactions stimulating and memorable. And fear of losing you is the ultimate indicator of your value. It reflects her growing attachment and desire when you maintain composure and high standards. The men who master these dynamics don't panic, chase, or overcompensate. They remain calm, confident, playful, and strategically present. Women notice, respect, and are naturally drawn to men who embody stability and high value while keeping interactions engaging. By applying these insights, you shift the dynamic from uncertainty and frustration to attraction, influence, and connection. You become magnetic without trying too hard, respected without demanding it, and emotionally significant without losing your independence. Understanding these weaknesses is the key to mastering modern dating, building stronger connections, and creating relationships where desire, respect, and attention flow naturally, making you the man she cannot ignore.